People trying to say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Guys, this is going to be a huge video. It's going to be so long and packed full of value. You better get your coffees, you better get your energy drinks ready, because the amount of value that's going to be packed in this video is going to be mad. So, and I'd also like to say, pay close attention, because I might move a little fast sometimes, and it's going to cover the whole nine. Like, it's going to cover everything in terms of setting a store up. But yeah, guys, please do focus up. It's going to be a very long video, but hopefully some of you guys can extract some value from this, and then apply it to your own stores and have some success. Before we get into this, guys, though, I just want to say this is the my new six-figure academy I've got going. So this is an email list I've created. You guys could sign up using the link below. It's basically just going to be dropping a lot of value every week. For example, this week, if you signed up, I've actually gone through my store, and every week we drop a bit of value. Value bombs on value bombs. We talk about niches, some Facebook ad campaign tutorials, single keyword ad groups tutorials, store reviews. Even next week, I think I've got one scheduled that we're going to be going over some winning niches. So every week I'll just ping you an email with some value, and I hope you guys can extract some value from that as well. But yeah, like I said, link below if you want to sign up. Do yourself a favor and get on it. But yeah, let's get into this big video, guys. Okay, guys, here we go. So this slide is basically just going to say, it's like an outline for today's video. A lot of people will break down these little parts here into more things. So for example, inside your store setup, you've got the apps, you've got all your optimization, but essentially if we look into the core of this is what this is, and I'm not going to overcomplicate it, because there is no need to overcomplicate anything when you don't need to. But yeah, guys, so number one, we're going to do product, niche, and research. So we're going to go full into our niche research, and then we're going to find a product within that niche, and then we're going to select and identify what we see as a winning product, because it's going to have all these it's going to have all the ticks next to it that we think that it's going to work, and then we're going to apply that. Number two, we're going to do our store setup. Our store setup is essentially just going to be setting up our landing page. We're going to set up optimization on the apps. We're going to do some upsells. We're going to add live chat in there. We're going to add our tracking for our marketing. We're going to do the whole nine, guys. Number three, marketing setup. Obviously, this is super important. I'll be going through how to set up all your campaigns properly. I know I've done this in some other videos, but I will be going through that again. Just so we have the best chance of winning before we get started. And then lastly, number four is, once you've got everything set up, how do we pivot? How do we move? How do we scale the store? How do we get more sales? How do we scale it? And then obviously make more money from scaling it. So let's get into this, guys. We're going to start off with the product research. Okay, guys, here we go. So top niches. What I would recommend, if you guys need any examples, is this list here. So basically, it's 2021, guys. The whole pandemic happened last year, and we've sort of got to adapt, and we've got to sell to the right market now, because it has changed almost in every industry. So we need to target. There's a different demand than there was before what happened here. So our top niches are going to be home fitness. I actually ran a store doing some resistant bands last year, and it did super well. So that's another thing. Home fitness. People aren't going to gyms anymore. People just want to go at home and exercise. So whether that be, it could be like a foam roller, it could be a yoga mat. Pilates is what they call it, I think. So it could be any sort of thing like that. I even see some local companies even making weights and then just selling them on Facebook as well, doing really well. But yeah, home fitness sort of ties in with this self-care as well. So next one I'm going to go on to is pets. So the pet niche is huge. Like I said before, during the pandemic, people are at home with their pets. People love their pets. Actually, you'll be surprised, some people will love their pets even more than they do themselves, which is pretty funny. Like, which is good for us as well, because if they see a product that they think their pet would like, they really don't hesitate to buy it. So that could be anything from chewable dog toys. It could be you could be even like it could be anything to do with their pets, to be honest. I've seen customized collars, the whole nine. It could be anything. Next up, we've got gaming. So gaming is actually just a market that just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. So especially in the pandemic as well, a lot of people who were gamers have actually, they've sort of turned it up to 11, and now they're probably gaming even more. But you can actually target people within that niche. You can actually, I see people doing like customized gaming chairs. I see people doing, like these sort of neon things behind their gaming setup. It's a massive industry, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. But like I said, trying to apply this whole situation to that industry, if that makes sense. Beauty sort of ties back into self-care. Beauty is actually really big as well. People love looking after themselves. If they have a bit more time on their hands in the day now, they're looking to take care of themselves, which is great. Sort of making that investment into themselves. So try and think what sort of products would tailor them in that sort of scenario. Could be some sort of facial cleaner. It could be some sort of blackhead remover, something like that. Okay, lastly guys, we've got work from home niche. Obviously this is just a niche that's really come upon us from this whole scenario, the pandemic. So this is huge. Like, I remember stuff like laptop stands sort of do really well. A massive spike in those last year. It's all obviously because everyone's at home. Maybe they want to work in bed and work on their laptop. That could be. It could be a laptop stand. It could be a phone stand. People could be working on their phone with their laptop. Who knows? It's definitely a niche worth digging into, because I don't think the demand for it is going away anytime soon, because the whole transition in the workplace right now, you've got these massive corporations that are actually trying to make you work from home now. So really it's just a niche that's come upon from this pandemic. So it's definitely a one worth looking into, guys. But let's actually move on into the next part of this video, and hopefully you guys took something from this slide. Okay guys, so here we go. What do I look for when looking for a winning product? I've had this question a lot of times. Might even be worth screenshotting this slide. This is my exact criteria I use pretty much to find a winning product. So especially in 2021, winning product criteria. So let's kick it off. Number one, has it or is it an Amazon bestseller? Like, if you go onto Amazon now, is it in the top 50? Doesn't matter what niche. Is it in there? Is it in the top 100? Or has it been in the top 100? Have a look at the sales, and this is already a factor. If the answer is yes, then you're already onto sort of a winner. It's not for sure, but it's definitely a good indicator. Also, the reason for looking for an Amazon bestseller as well, people on Amazon are searching with intent. It's sort of the same as Google. It's not really like Facebook when they're just preemptively shown something in their newsfeed. People on Amazon are searching with intent. So for example, they search for a product because they've gone out their way to do that, and they're going to be doing the same thing on Google. So you could almost assume, if they're searching with intent on Amazon, you would almost assume it will do good with search intent on Google. It's not always the case, but this is obviously why we check the volume afterwards. Okay, next point, future-proof. So it doesn't actually mean it has to be, it's like a solid product that's never going to fail, but it means sort of like it has to be on the edge of, this product hasn't been around too long. It's sort of, it's still being introduced to people. It's got that sort of wow factor to it, and people see high perceived value inside of this product. It's sort of a thing like you don't want it to be brand new, but you want it, it's sort of just leaking into the market. Okay, next point 3, high perceived value. So this just means it has a high perceived value. People are willing to pay premium for it. because obviously you've got to work in your marketing costs, your cost of goods inside your costs. So you do have to have a high perceived value. This also ties into point number 5, being you do need good images and videos of it, otherwise you aren't going to have that high perceived brand value. It also ties in with your store too. You can't sell a product where you've got a really bad brand set up, you've got a bad images, bad product, because you can't, even if it is a high value product, you can't actually show that to the customer. You need some good images and videos from your supplier, wherever that may be. Okay, lastly, keyword volume. You might have seen this from other videos, guys, but what I love to do is just go on to the keyword planner, check the keyword volume. We will get into depth into this in a few more moments here, but essentially all we're doing is making sure it hits a certain criteria, usually around 25,000-30,000 searches a month. Obviously this is if you are advertising on Google, but there is a certain criteria I look for before running any sort of campaign. Okay guys, let's get into it. So before we go on here, I want to show you this slide. So what are we going to do? We are going to find a winning product. So we've got 4 things here. I might add a 5th, I'm not too sure, but you will find out in the video. So number 1, winning product method. What I'd like to do is use Alibaba. So if we go up to Alibaba, okay, once we're on Alibaba, we're going to come up here, we're going to go categories, and there's this thing at the bottom, all categories. Go ahead, hit that, and then you're going to be presented with a bunch of categories down here. So you're going to scroll down, you're going to find all these categories. Why is this good? Because they've named every literal category inside of a category. And why are they here? Because they sell. The only reason these categories are inside here of these niches is because they're selling, guys. This is almost some sort of mini gold mine. I could just sit on here and do product research for hours. You will be surprised about how much you can find on here, and really the gems that are inside of these little categories. Okay guys, now we're in here. I want to show you, for example, what we talked about earlier, one of those niches. You guys can pick one of those if you want. So I'm just going to come down here, I'm going to find fitness niche, so I'm going to go ahead and hit fitness. And as you can see guys, here we go, look at this. So we have high quality adjustable resistance bands. So similar to what I did last year, but I think this is a new product. So where you sort of step on it, and it's maybe meant to help you train your legs or your quads, something like that. I wouldn't know, I don't train legs. If we go over here, pull fitness supply. So here we've got some sort of dumbbells, we've got a pull-up bar. I mean, what I would do guys, in the next few slides I'm going to show you how we do this. So once you've picked your product, we're going to actually test it to see if we can set ourselves up for success, and have the best chance of winning before we sort of build out a store or anything like that. We've really put the graft in to do this research for the product. Scroll down a bit here. So here we go, dumbbells. I know dumbbells are in a high demand. Even now, it's very hard to get hold of dumbbells right now. So obviously people are paying a premium for those. Here we go, we've got a custom logo printed gym exercise fitness glutes booty hip product. So I guess this is like a booty band or something like that. They sort of train their legs, I guess, or their bum with that. We've got some hex dumbbells. We've got resistance bands. Yeah, that was what the word for it was. So we've got resistance bands. This one's obviously you could customize, put your own brand on there and stuff. We've even got bloody a treadmill here. I mean, we've got the whole 9, guys. It's really worth a good look inside of these niches. Just to find the hidden gems. I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to show you a couple more real quick. Okay guys, I'm just going to quickly show you, if you want, you're looking over your niche, you found some sort of product here, you're going to go into your keyword planner just to get a quick look at how well these things can sell. I would literally just open a bunch of tabs, roll them off, and just come into here and see how well, the searches are doing. So you can see here we've actually had a trend in January as well. we've had a spike, obviously probably due to the new UK lockdown. But as you can see here, more than enough keyword volume to run some ads. I'm just going to find another one real quick and then we can move on. So for example, we have I think it's called, what's it called again? So we've got, you just find this. Okay, so it's glute bands. I'm going to go up here. And as you can see, look, it comes up with some similar stuff. There is some keyword volume there. So guys, it's all about finding opportunity. And you know, there is opportunity here, and then the ones I've just seen. It's just about scouring it, really. You could be clicking on some of these and, you know, there is no real opportunity, there's no audience behind there to advertise to, but like I say, it's really worth putting the time in to do the research. So we have another one here, knee brace. I think this is quite big at the minute as well. Just going to do a little Google here, knee brace. There we go. Yeah, knee support, knee brace, knee support for running. Yeah, huge, guys. You'll be surprised because Google actually comes up with some suggested keywords as well. So you know, you might not have typed support, you might have typed brace, but you know that support is obviously the bigger keyword here. So before we get into any sort of keyword, anything, this is just we're not going to make a campaign yet. We're literally just trying to find the product. I'm going to go through my other methods of product research. Okay guys, I'm just going to show you real quick what we look for when we go on to, hey guys, once we found our product or some sort of an idea of a product, let's just go into the next few steps. So, you know, whether you got this from Alibaba, Amazon, this is going to apply either way. So this next step is going to be the same for doesn't matter how you got it. So we're going to do a quick Google of resistance bands or whatever your product is. We're going to go down. You could select a shopping ad. In this case, I'm just going to do a SCAG, so a search ad right here. So we've got, you know, we've been presented a resistance band. You know, he's outside, he's using it. So this looks like, you know, some sort of dropshipping store, branded dropshipping store. I'm going to download an app called SimilarWeb. And as you can see, guys, I know it's almost a bit cheeky, but you can actually see, you know, the monthly traffic. You can see, you know, their rank. So, you know, guys, what they're doing here is, you know, they're driving a lot of traffic to their site, and you know, they're getting over 618,000 hits a month. So if you scroll a bit down as well, you can also see how they got it. So traffic source mostly from search as well. So look, not really through social. So as you can see, this product is a big one through Google. This app only really works for the bigger stores, I believe. So like if they've really not got that much traffic, it won't display it. But guys, this is huge. I mean, look, you can actually see into their store. You can see, you know, if there's a reason they're getting 618,000 hits, it's because they're paying for that traffic, and the reason they're paying for it is because it works. So it's a good sort of indicator that, you know, you're onto a winning product. Okay, next part, guys, you want to come up to Google Trends, you want to type your product. So for example, we're going to go resistance bands, and we're going to go past 90 days. As you can see, pretty consistent results. Always go 90 days just because you get sort of, you know, an idea of when we're looking at to advertise and the audience we will be looking at and the trend. If we go, you know, like we said, 12 months when we tried, as you can see, the start of last year couldn't have been any more popular. Doesn't mean to say, you know, it isn't popular now. It is on an uptrend. And as we found the keyword volume's still there. We're just going to try the other one here. So let's try glute bands. Or let's try glute support. Okay, so this one is also trending too. You know, it's on the uptrend here. if we go back to the 12 months, you know, we have seen an increase from the end of March, 69 out of 100, so it is on an uptrend. And typically this time last year it was as well. It was very popular this time last year. So this is a good indicator, guys, that, you know, if this line fell flat, I wouldn't really say, you know, it has that much potential, but it is a nice indicator that, you know, your product does have some sort of trend behind it and some sort of search intent, so that is a good indicator. Okay guys, part of the next tutorial, you know, it's always just, you know, finding different routes to find your product or your niche. So what I would recommend, you know, get signed up on eSniper. It's a great tool that you can use to, you know, see what's already working, see what's already selling. You can also see the margins you'll be getting to. So it's sort of it's a good indicator that, you know, this is going to set yourself up for success on that product. So it's a great tool. Another great tool to use is ECOM Hunt. What I like to do on here, so when you're on here, you're going to see these locked products, that's fine. But all you're going to do when you're up here is go to where it says sort by, just change that to orders. So you don't necessarily have to see what's newest first. So if we look in on orders, we go down here, well, we've got eyelash enhancer. So for example, I will copy this. I will go back into the keyword ideas. You know, and we're just going to see if we have some sort of, yep, so here we go, it's trending up right now. And there is some sort of good volume there. So look, all we're trying to find, guys, you know, try and find that potential, try and find that that winning golden gem. Okay guys, if we click into this product on ECOM Hunt, yeah, I do believe you have to sign up to get in this, but you know, it tells you selling price, so recommended selling price, your product cost, it's quite low, it's $2.55. I suppose it is a small product, but your profit margin too. I know it doesn't actually factor in your marketing costs, which is obviously going to have to come into play there. So if we're talking around 30% margin for all your marketing costs, that's probably around, you know, we're going to do around $6, so maybe a profit margin of 10. Obviously depending on whether you get that margin or not, but yeah, it's a good indicator. It's also nice to see this posted 2 years ago, it's still trending now. So, you know, like I said before, it doesn't have to be just a brand new product now. It could be trending back before, and it could trend again now. And again, guys, it sort of ties into the self-care, beauty niche, you know, environment that people were after. So always sort of ties back into each other, and you know, it's if everything aligns, you sort of know you're onto sort of a winner. Okay guys, just going to do a bit more scrolling here. You guys can obviously do your own research on here. I'm just showing you sort of the structure on how I do it. So I'm just scrolling, sort of looking. I'm not really looking at, you know, I'm more leaning towards what's going to work on Google and Facebook, not just Facebook, because I see a lot of these products here would tend to, you know, do better on Facebook, because, you know, who's Googling a silly sponge? So let's just scroll down a bit here. What can I see? So if we see this, okay, anti-barking device, it's sort of interesting. Let's go in here. So selling price recommended 20. I could say you could probably do a bit more than that. $3 for your product, and then obviously your profit margin there, not including your marketing. So, you know, has it got a high perceived value? Yes. Is there anyone looking for this? Let's have a look. So if we paste that in there, I mean, there is some sort of volume, not huge, so I wouldn't recommend any, you know, you're not going to get huge sales from this, but, you know, it doesn't mean to say you're not going to get any sales at all. It's always worth a try. I mean, what's the worst outcome? You know, what's the worst outcome? You just learn from it. Okay guys, as well, you don't have to do this, but I just like to click on AliExpress. So we come up here, here's the product, quite small, ships from China, and it's $3 with $1.28 shipping, not bad at all. You know, I always just like to see if it's got good reviews. So okay, we've had 80% 5-star, that's not too bad. You know, I always do like to message the seller as well with a proof of purchase from another person as well, and I want him to send the tracking ID, because they could say, you know, here for me, rate of items, so 10% it's getting here within 5 to 7 days. I think majority of his time here is delivery time is 63%, 8 to 11 days. So I would want him to prove that. I want him to send me some sort of verification, previous tracking number from a different customer, and then at least you know what your realistic time frame is. You're not just going off this little graph here. So I do like to check out the reviews as well. So let's go down here. Okay, you can also use some of these reviews for your store as well, which we'll get into a bit later in the video. But yeah, people have posted, you see how it arrives in packaging, very nice. Quite simple product. Does the job. They all seem pretty happy with it. Not used yet, but fast shipping, this is a good sign. So yeah, that's what sort of you're looking for when you're shipping from China. I know the smaller products will do a little better. If you're ordering like a desk, it's not exactly going to be here in a week, so smaller the better, but it doesn't necessarily mean you always have to go for that. So let's get into the next bit. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to Google here. So anti-biking device. So as you can see, we have people advertising for it, and we actually are looking at around the same selling price, or a little bit more, because it's in pounds. So look, £20. You go on here. I'm going to check their site out, and they're selling the product. So there you go, guys. It's all there, and you can check your competition out. I do notice no one's running any search ads, which means you could capitalize on that. Obviously, I do recommend running both search and shopping because they're both valuable. But yeah, it's as you can see, 88 reviews. It's I do like to see their price points. I like to see how many people are selling as well. Like, is it saturated? Is it saturated? Would I say probably not. There's not actually that many sellers. So that's another opportunity what you could look at right there. Okay guys, now we've gone over a couple of these, or maybe 3 of them now. So I'm just going to go over to the Amazon side of things. This isn't what I always use. It is a nice indicator though, to see that your product is a winning product, or at least has some previous sales background behind it, which indicates some sort of interest into that product. So let's jump right ahead into Amazon, and then we're going to check out if it's had any sales or any interest. Okay, boom. Welcome back guys. We're going to actually find a winning product now on Amazon. So what we're going to do, go ahead and I've just found one of these niches on Alibaba, sorry. So if we go categories again, scroll down, if it wishes to load, and once we're in all categories, I'm just going to scroll down, keeping in mind some of these bigger niches here. Like I said earlier, you can look back at the slide. You can always look at what that would come under on here. So if we scroll down a little bit here, I'm going to go in the golf niche. So if we look here, we have some sort of, so we've got a rangefinder. We've also got GPS golf watch. What's this? 3D golf map. Okay. So our Amazon tutorial, our structure on Amazon is going to be sort of the same. I'm going to go ahead, type golf, and as you can see here guys, look at this. So we're actually almost seeing like a mirror image on Amazon of the product. So if you look here, 1300, this is the rangefinder we just had on Alibaba. So if we look here, bestseller. So this is a bestseller. This actually comes under one of the criterias for finding a product via Amazon. It's a bestseller, so it's a nice small product. What are we going to do? So I'd guess that is the keyword. We're going to come over here, back to our keyword planner, whip it in, and there you go. You've got combined probably 7,000 searches a month. I mean, there's a market for it. I might not be looking at the right keyword, so we could change it a little bit. It might be under there. So if we look at some more keywords it is using, so golf laser for example, I'd just play around with this guys, try and find you don't have to get it right the first time. So golf rangefinder probably would be the best search here. Combined, you're probably getting 8,000 a month, 8,000 combined searches, which isn't too bad. But yeah, that's how you find it off Amazon, guys. I would also consider looking at some other products as well. So, like I said, we found the rangefinder. I'm probably just going to scroll down a little bit, and we see. So I'm looking here. I'm looking this PGA Tour putting mat. So if we do a quick Google, hey guys, just done a quick Google. Here we go, golf putting mat. So all I've done, I've taken the keyword from our Amazon site. I've put it into Google. I wanted to see if there's anyone looking for this. So if we're looking at our search data here, the trend data, it's actually shot up every year. It's gone up even more and more, higher highs. But yeah, so we actually do have 2 people. Well, we have obviously Amazon on the search here. There's no problem, but we have a lot of people on the shopping ad. So this indicates, it might not be saturated per se, but there is a lot of competition. So we just need to look at this. I'm going to go ahead and click this website. Okay, so right away, guys, you could tell, this is a dropshipping site if I've ever seen it. And look at this, Dustin Johnson. There's no background here. There's poorly made product feature here. So guys, you can see what I always like to reiterate within this sort of tutorial video is you've got to look for opportunities everywhere if you could see it. So it might be there might be a lot of people selling it, but are they doing it correctly? You've got to answer that question. Are these guys doing it correctly? Probably not. Look at this page is very we've got images that don't work. We've got one image here. There's no GIFs of people using it. I mean, fair play, they've got their Instagram down here, but there's no GIFs. There's no reviews. There's no. All I'm getting right now is the name, bloody Dustin Johnson, and the price. So it's like there really is an opportunity to capitalize on their faults here. So even the price, guys, look at this, 129, free shipping to UK. I mean, I would hope so for this price. I mean, if we go ahead over to AliExpress, golf putting mat, we're going to sort by orders. So the most ones with orders here is $27. So this is literally like 6-7 ROAS markup here. It's like it's crazy. They're buying this at £20, $30, and they're selling it for $130. Obviously not factoring marketing, but if you ask me, those are some pretty big margins. So there's definitely room to move on the price and also to improve on their sites. So guys, remember to apply this to your scenario. You might not have a golf putting mat. You might have something in the beauty niche, fashion niche. Do bear in mind, it's not going to be the same, but you can. This is a system in which I've created, in which you can apply to anything. But let's just have a quick Google on the keyword searcher, keyword volume, putting mat. So yeah, we've got over 10,000 searches just in the UK alone. If we go to the USA, which I think this is primarily targeted in, we're going to have so over 30,000 searches here, which would meet the criteria. Also giving us some other keywords here, just from putting this initial one in. So there we go, guys. There's massive potential in and just going deep. Just go in the research a bit. Like, even if you found this and you found a similar product, it's all just there's opportunities everywhere, guys, and you just gotta look for it.
People tryna say I'm only